So you moved pretty quickly from baseball to 2017 becoming a quality control analyst and then cloud solutions in 2018. Can you walk me through some project studies or other knowledge shifts that happened in this time that caused you to pivot into cloud security, or was this something you were interested in even before this?
Yeah, I can actually take you along that path. Thanks for asking.
Mhm.
When I first got injured, 2000, 2015, 2016, data science and ML really was just kind of starting to be a huge hot topic issue. So that kind of naturally drew me, and I started doing, Python code and some basic courses and things like that. And then once I was forced out of baseball, I was like, okay, well, what is the transition path? And luckily, some people pointed me in the right direction. They said, why don't you go and set up a server? Because really, you got to work infrastructure up. If Especially if you're getting into big data and big data processing, it really helps to know how you're processing down. That was the advice that was given to me. And so I bought a server and I started, getting set up with Ubuntu and CentOS. And
Mm.
then obviously I ran into issues. How do I make this repeatable? Okay, well,
Yep.
I got introduced to Terraform, and then it's okay, how do you scale it? Got introduced to containers and Kubernetes. And this was all on my own time, but just through external resources and being pointed in the right direction. Luckily, I'm in Toronto, so I got an internship to a company called CloudOps based in Montreal, and they were doing a research project focused around introducing Kubernetes to data scientists. And so that was my internship, and then I got brought in as a consultant for the better half of 2 years before StackRox found me.
Okay, so you were sort of living two lives at once. You were doing the day job stuff, but like you said, you were always kind of learning in the evening. Can you talk about that? Like, how did you know where you were you just sort of learning things based on personal interest and just where your sort of obsessions took you?
Yeah, it was. I find that getting hands-on with things helps me learn a lot more. Internet and Google is a great resource, right? So I've found that once I had the server, and I had a little bit of help as well, just in terms of pointing me in the right direction, which is huge. It's why I'm a big fan of mentorship and advocacy, because you can just save people a lot of time, right? So I had that help, and then just getting dirty and figuring out what solutions worked really just helped me kind of go through that learning process. And then eventually I kind of gave up on the machine learning craze, and I got more into infrastructure as code, DevOps, and being part of a consulting team. It was more about implementation of different cloud native technologies. So
what was it that sort of cooled you off on machine learning? What did you say? You say you felt like it was kind of a dead end. Like, can you talk a little more about that?
Yeah, so what I found is I think that there are really good jobs for people who are data analysts or who come out with a specific like statistics background with a background in coding that can be useful for companies.
Right.
And there's a lot of good tools that are out there in the cloud. But when you're talking about the like big kind of changing roles, you're looking at higher education, PhDs, research papers. Like those are the jobs that really move the needle on it. And to be honest, I just kind of got roped into DevOps and kind of that culture, and I really like the fit.
New episodes of the Cyberwork podcast are available every Monday at 1 p.m. Central. And don't forget to check out our hands-on training series, Cyberwork Applied. Each week, expert Infosec instructors teach you a new cybersecurity skill and show you how that skill applies to real-world scenarios. Go to infosecinstitute.com/learn to stay up to date on all things cyberwork.